Well, I grew up in Colorado, so I grew up eating Palisade peaches.
Yeah, just growing up, we knew about the peaches, right?
Yeah.
And once you found out that you could get them at the right time of year and they were the best you'll ever see, for eating, it was unbelievable.
And especially since my mom comes from a farm, I think, clearly that adds into it, and they really care about supporting other people like that. In the past, we've always tried to support somebody or some cause that's using them as a fundraiser. Since they're so famous, a lot of the nonprofits use them as a fundraiser and then truck cases of boxes over with a farm. And so the high school does it, the marching band does it. We've done that several times. The Rotary Club is what we use now because they do good work. But yeah, it's always been a not-for-profit.
Even just in the last year, I think there were 5 or 6 full semis full of peaches just for the Rotary delivery.
Yeah, and they have contracts with the farmers, and they, and then the farmers can rely on it. It's good. It's a win-win for everybody. It's mid to late August, and it depends clearly on the weather, but yeah, it's an August tradition. So, and those are the only time you eat them, and then you don't have peaches for a year.
Right.
Yes.
Seasonal.
Yes.
Actually, we get the freestones, which are the late season, but the earlier season ones are not freestones.
That's true.
And I remember when we were out there one time, and they had a schedule, and there must have been 20 different types of peaches they sold, and they had a week-by-week schedule about which ones ripe when. It means that the pit comes out of it.
Yeah, when you cut it,
it's loose.
It's loose.
You know how some you eat the flesh is like attached to the seed. That's the non-freestone. Sure, we usually get the boxes, and they're only good for maybe a couple weeks from when we get them to when they're too far ripe.
Yeah.
And I usually eat 5 to 10 a day until they're gone, and then I'm good for a year.
Oh.
It's 20 pounds. There's about 40, I think.
Yeah. I personally eat more like 3 a day, 3, maybe 4 a day, like on a pushing it. You tend to get them and then you share them because they all get ripe at the same time. And people love when you get a case of peaches and you share them. Like we sent a couple to our neighbors, and and we did give a whole case to my best friend who's got a huge family, and they were delighted. Great grandma wasn't feeling really well, and they figured out that she had accidentally dropped a peach pit in her sugar. And somehow it had stayed in the sugar and was leaching out whatever poison is in a peach pit, because most seeds are poisonous. And so she wasn't feeling good. And they finally figured out it was from a peach pit in her sugar. That was memorable. Yeah, she was fine. She just was feeling off, and they couldn't figure out why.
For me, I remember my mom, this was probably in the 70s. She would can peaches, and she would can, I don't know, maybe 60 quarts or something. And then I'd eat them all through the winter. But I remember she would blanch them, right, and peel them, and then slice them, and then she would put them in the cans, in the jars. And I remember just sitting down while she was doing that, and I was just eating them as she was doing that, right? And I ate about a dozen that first time. They were just so good because they were warm and peeled and just ripe.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was kind of funny because I was keeping up with everything she was doing at the time.
And your mother didn't stop you?
No.
Oh.
She doesn't mind me eating peaches,
I guess you could be doing a lot worse things.
Yeah.
Standing over the sink.
Yep. I just rinse it off and just start slicing it. and just eat it slice at a time, right off the stone.
Honestly, there are a few ways I do like to eat the peaches. I do like peaches in oatmeal. I do like peaches on ice cream or yogurt. I do like peach cut in half with like a strudel on the top and baked, especially if it's cold out, if it's cold fall. And freeze-stone peach, you can slice it up really easily and just eat it out of the bowl. When you're feeling like, you know, it's dinner and you're just serving a whole bunch of peaches more elegantly than over peach. Sick.
I like them so well at the, you know, that time of year that I just eat them straight. I don't have any desire to do anything with them.
Probably childhood memories for me. And darn, just the flavor. I mean, both. I mean, it's hard to beat a fresh peach.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. One thing my mom discovered over the years is that what she does is she tries to buy whatever's ripe locally when it's ripe, and not try to buy it off season, you know, because they've got to do such crazy things to either preserve it or grow it and ship it or something. And they're just always the best when you get them. Just
they're special because they're only available for a very short time. And they're only at the key ripeness for a few days, each one. So it's a short period of time that you can have them. It makes them more special.
yeah, they're so special for me. I don't eat peaches any other time of year.
True. I don't buy peaches that aren't Palisade peaches. This experience was super peachy.